This week on Performance TV, we're ramping up our power and torque on the dyno, installing new injectors, fine-tuning the ECM, and even learning how we can get custom logos on our tires. Next on Performance TV.
Wow, there is nothing like the sound of putting a car through its paces and hearing it at full RPM on the dyno. Hey, welcome to this week's Performance TV, and that's what we're going to be doing today, is playing around on the dyno. JT joining us from Knoxville Performance, and now we've got the vehicle on the dyno. You've just run it through what we're going to consider a baseline run.
Yes.
So what are we going to see here on our results?
Our results, what we're going to see is a horsepower and torque. So here on this line right here, we have our torque curve, and here we have our horsepower curve. Now what this is a baseline off of a aftermarket turbo kit we installed, and this is the base tune file that comes with the kit. As you can see, I think this kit made, you got 229 and 179 torque.
So why would we want to put a vehicle on a dyno?
Well, first off, you can see a lot of things, and it's a controlled environment. Tuning on the street is absolutely not safe.
Sure.
I mean, we can agree with that. The other thing is that on the street versus dyno, if you're trying to do any tuning, you're not going to see any changes as far as torque and stuff. You can't see that.
Sure.
One of the biggest things with a dyno is you're seeing live results. And with certain dynos, you can even see your torque while you're sitting there loaded on the car. For instance, this dyno we're using here. It's an eddy current dyno. It allows me to actually watch the torque as I'm tuning without making a pull and then checking it.
Wow. Now, once you look through all of the different RPMs, it just gives you an idea of
what I'm looking at here is increases in these numbers.
Okay.
To a point to where we don't see any more increase. If we start seeing a drop, then we know we've gone too far.
Okay, we have our baseline run. What plans do you have for this before we make our next pull?
Well, our next pull, we're probably going to make some adjustments to timing. We're going to look at the tune file, probably maybe raise the boost up a hair, see where that's at.
And we're not going to be getting out wrenches and tools and all that stuff and getting underneath the hood?
No, not at all. This is all done laptop on the car. Now, not to say you don't have some problems on the dyno here and there, but when you do, you address those with those tools.
All right, well, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to see some results.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get ready and reprogram that.
All right. All right, so I've made changes to multiple parameters in the car on the ECU tune file. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to flash the map to the car. So it'll ask me to do a couple prompts, and it'll connect, and then it'll do a flash, and I have to have the car off to do this. All right. Tells me to turn the key off, and back on, and we're ready to go.
Anxious for JT to come over here and see what kind of numbers that we have now, and this is definitely looking pretty interesting.
Yeah, definitely big increases in power and torque, and you're going to see that with any tuning you're going to do on a dyno versus something that's just out of a handheld.
Well, at Knoxville Performance, you know, we see the car that we have here today, but you don't work just on stuff like this. I mean, you guys do all different types of tuning.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with multiple tuning systems, from stuff with GM cars, Ford. We've tuned all kinds of stuff, even worked on some Ferraris, Lamborghinis. I mean, we're very versed in multiple vehicles.
Everything from cars to even do some truck stuff too?
Yeah, we have done some truck stuff. We've worked with a couple of Dodges and Fords and Chevys, from installing to exhaust to custom tuning as well.
I'll tell you what, you can find out everything that Knoxville Performance can do for you. Just hop on their website at knoxdyno.com. And we'll have more for you just minutes away on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener. Wheels and More, creating that ear-to-ear grin one car at a time. Thermal R&D Exhaust, one of the premier aftermarket exhaust manufacturers in the United States. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Performance TV. If you have a 7.3 Power Stroke, well, we have some great things for you today. So we have Ryan with us from Full Force Diesel Performance. Ryan, you guys have been in business for about 11 years now and just doing all kinds of stuff for these 7.3s.
Yes, we're constantly rebuilding the injectors for the 7.3s. A lot of them every week, 40 to 50 sets still to this day after they've been off the market since early '03.
What are the biggest problems that folks who have a 7.3 or what are they finding with the injectors?
Cold morning starts, especially in wintertime. They start to run rough during the cold morning. As the temperature comes up in the motor, they'll start to run a lot better, but it's all due to pretty much lack of maintenance, extended oil changes, stuff like that.
We're looking at a stock injector here.
Correct.
We do have a 7.3 here today that we're going to do some changes with. What step are we going to go to from Full Force?
We're going to be doing the switching out to a stage 1 injector. It's going to be a single shot injector. What we're going to be taking out is a split shot injector. And It was just the stock injector that came with the trucks. They went to those in early '99 all the way to early '03.
And that's something we were not able to see from the outside. That's internals.
No, that's just that's a plunger and barrel that is inside the injector that is changed out.
Well, yeah,
so,
plungers.
yep, we've got the split shot, which is the stock one, and then we will go to a single shot, which is just one main shot of fuel going into the cylinder instead of 2 shots that came stock.
So we're going to do the injectors. We're also going to change out the glow plugs.
We recommend changing out the glow plugs when you're doing the injectors. You're in there anyways. That's one thing that you can change out. The other thing you can change out is the harnesses and the valve cover gaskets themselves. It's always recommended that you go back in, change those. You're there, might as well do it.
Yeah, absolutely, because just getting to all of that is the biggest part of the thing. And you know what? Dave, he's already got to changing a lot of these out, and let's check in and see how far he's come along.
We've got Patrick from Full Force to give us a hand here. Now, I know this looks a little complicated, but it's not that bad. We just put a little PB blaster on our brackets and on our clamps, and they came off nice and easy. What do we got going on now, though?
Today we're installing our Stage 1 injectors. And this old farm truck going to give it some new life, just make it a good running truck and a good reliable vehicle for the customer.
All righty, show me how you do that.
Well, first we're going to take the deflectors out after we drain the oil rails. Drain back into the engine, that way you don't make a mess in your driveway, especially if you got concrete. We'll set it up on some clean rags.
All right.
And the same goes for the rest.
Now, when I'm prepping that up to stick in, what do I got to do?
Basically, we recommend using clean engine oil. We use transmission fluid in the shop. A little bit thinner, it gets in everywhere, and it's a good burst for the fresh injectors. That's a
Right. Okay. All right, here you go.
All right.
It's got 3 different O-rings on there, so there's
You got the oil side up top, in between here, anywhere 500 pounds to start it, up to 3,000 PSI. In between the oil side and the orange O-ring is the fuel side. The average truck, stock truck, about 52 pounds. So
it's unusual. And when you're torquing these down, you're torquing it down to what?
130 inch-pounds.
Inch-pounds, not foot-pounds.
Not foot-pounds.
All right.
And if you do not have an inch-pound torque wrench, about 10 foot-pounds will suffice.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and finish this up. While we're doing that, you check this out.
Welcome to the EvapoRust Tip of the Week. One problem older cars can have is overheating, and this can be caused by rust that is built up in the cooling system. And this can cause a lot of problems, and traditionally this problem has been hard to take care of.
Yeah, now we've got EvapoRust product called ThermoCure. ThermoCure is really easy to use. What it does is it goes in, it absorbs all the rust out of the entire cooling system, heater core, everything, absorbs that, makes it liquid, and then you drain it out. This is really easy to use. You start off by draining your radiator like we have here. You can see how nasty that is.
Oh, yeah.
Once it's out, we add water, and then we add 1 quart of Thermocure.
Okay.
So we're just going to add it in there. As you, when you get it all in there, fill it all the way up with water, and then drive your car around.
And this isn't going to hurt any of the rubber or gaskets or anything that's in the engine?
Not at all. It's
Okay.
not going to hurt aluminum, copper, brass, tin, gaskets, any of those kind of things.
Perfect.
Fill it up with water,
Yeah.
and then drive it around. Now, don't drive it in cold weather because it doesn't protect against freezing, but
okay.
it does protect against overheating. Once you've done that, give it 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on how rusty you think it is. Drain that out, flush your engine completely, then fill it with good coolant, and you're ready to go.
Okay, excellent. Well, if you have any other questions, visit our website at evaporust.com.
There we go. Not too bad. We're running good. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you setting up my truck.
No problem, Dave.
So I don't need no 4-degree engineering to do this. I can do this in my driveway if I want.
Right.
You all stay tuned. We're going to be back with more Performance TV in just a minute.
Performance TV coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Hey, if this Ford F-350 looks familiar, well, that's just because we installed new injectors in it, bumped it up to stage 1, and now that we've done that, we get to have a little bit of fun with more performance and build, more choices, and that's what you have for us with Power Hungry Performance. What have you been doing under there?
Hey, trying to get the computer out from under here, so.
So this would be the ECM.
Yeah, this is the Ford ECM on the 7.3, and that's where our chip is going to go.
Okay.
So what we're going to do, we'll take this over here and get this cleaned up.
Now, why would we need to clean it?
Okay, when the PCMs are manufactured, they actually have a layer of silicone on the circuit board to prevent any kind of water damage. And what we need to do is get that off of there, so when we plug the chip on there, it'll make a good contact on there.
Now, this isn't just while you're getting that open. This just isn't any particular chip where we're just going to plug one in. It's going to be all done. You have no choices because if anybody knows me, they know I like to have control over things, and we're going to have lots of control, lots of convenience, and lots of choice.
So what we're doing is the hydro chip that we have has 15 different positions. Gives you any number of positions for towing, performance, daily driving, even anti-theft. We have a no-start position on the chip that would prevent your vehicle from being stolen.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get in here just a few screws that we need to take apart so we can get into where we need to clean this up. And I see that you have a wire brush.
Yep. There's a wire brush, and we've got a piece of Scotch-Brite that we'll use for the final polish on the contacts. And once that's all clean, we can go ahead and plug the chip on and get it all reinstalled back inside the vehicle.
Okay, go ahead and get this one out for you. Pull those out.
And
Pop that apart.
there we go. So there's the contacts that we have. You can see the layer of silicone on there. It all scrapes off. So we'll use the wire brush to go ahead and get that cleaned off. And you want to make sure that you use a brass brush, not a stainless steel brush, because the brass does not hurt the circuit board.
Okay, and that's what I was concerned with looking at that. Well, this is going to take a few minutes to get this cleaned up, and while we do that, why don't you take a look at this? This week on the Z-Max Micro Lubricant Minute, Tommy, we are going to shift things up a little bit.
That's right. We're going to talk about the Z-Max transmission formula and what it will do for your transmission.
You know, whether it's an automatic transmission or a manual transmission, there is a lot going on in there, and especially when we take a look at our automatic transmission valve body here. The fluid needs to be able to move around and do its job, and if things start sticking, it's not going to work right.
Right. Z-Max is a metal treatment, not an additive. It's not going to change the oil in your transmission.
Right.
You see on our valve body we have, for an example, what is the varnishes? What is the buildup? It's pretty obvious to see. You can see the change in the color in the metal. This is what its buildup is in your transmission. This transmission probably had a failure because their buildup in there is not allowing the valve to slide. Z-Max will treat the metal. It's going to last longer. It's going to shift better. It's going to perform better.
It's just going to make it last so much longer.
Right. People want to know, how does that buildup get in there? It's from the heating and cooling cycles. It allows the oil to stick, varnish builds up, then things aren't going to operate smoothly. Z-Max allows the metal to be really slick, almost a wet surface. It's going to let the oil slide through there. The Z-Max will stay in the metal. Once you shut that vehicle off, it's in the metal.
You know, and it's something that you probably only have to do for your transmission about once a year with the Z-Max treatment. You can find out more about what it can do for your vehicle. Just hop on their website at zmax.com. Well, Bill's had an opportunity to program the Hydra, and now he's wrapping up the installation inside the truck. One of the really neat things that I noticed about programming it is that it plugs right into the computer. You can see with our USB cord that's going to plug into your laptop or whatever. You don't have to burn anything to be able to program the Hydra from Power Hungry Performance. They also have a lot of really neat accessories that you can add to make this your own. Of course, everything comes with a kit, but if you happen to have pillar gauges, guess what? You can put a controller right in your pillar gauges. How about control it with your phone? Well, they even have a Bluetooth option that you can put in right underneath your dash. And Bill, are you getting her all wrapped up back there?
Just finished up right now.
Now, you put in how many different programs into the Hydra on this truck?
We did 7 tunes on this truck. This truck has modified injectors, so we had to do some custom tuning for it.
And the nice thing is it's still open to do all kinds of things should this gentleman, you know, make some additional upgrades.
Absolutely. If he changes the turbo, puts a different transmission in it, anything that he'd want to do, we can redo the custom tunes for him. He can download them right onto his chip from his laptop.
Now, we've concentrated on the 7.3 today, but you guys have all kinds of different stuff. We've had you with us before, or we've had with the 6-liter, and you have programmers, all kinds of stuff on your website.
Yeah, we do. We carry products for the 7.3s, 6-liters, 6.4s, F-150s, programmers, chips, a wide variety of stuff for Ford vehicles.
And you can find out more just by going to their website at gopowerhungry.com. And Bill, let's fire this puppy up.
All right.
And there you have it. All kinds of different things that you can choose for your vehicle, high idle, and so much more. We have much more for you, and that's right after this on Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by EvapoRust, super safe rust remover. Borla, the world's most winning exhaust. Machinist Made, dedicated to bringing new revolutionary cleaning products to the market. And by Z-Max, the one product for your engine, transmission, and fuel system.
Welcome back to Performance TV. A long time ago, I used to sell tires, and we used to dream about being able to put stickers on the tires. That dream has become a reality. I've got Keith from Tire Stickers here to tell us more.
Yeah, so we've got a number of different products. They're all do-it-yourself. We have a product that's short-term, so if you're looking to advertise, put something on maybe for a car show or a race, it's quick and easy to peel on and stick on. It'll stay on, but then you can remove it when you need to. We also have a permanent version. It comes with a special glue, it goes on, and that's really gonna last the lifetime of the tire.
Lifetime of the tire.
Yep, absolutely. It's fully cleanable, comes in multiple colors, so really you can customize it completely, as well as put name brands, tire brands, as well as a few others.
And you've got just a ton of different products. It's not just stickers.
That's absolutely correct. Yeah, we can do logos, we can do custom artwork, so people can send us what they want. We can put it on. We also offer capabilities of tracking. We do barcoding, QR codes, so if somebody's looking to do something more unique, tracking, security, the capability of putting that on the tire is now possible.
That's insane. So you put a kind of like a little memory chip in the tire, on the tire, and you can track how long it's been on there, how many miles we got.
Right. Yeah, the RFID technology, that's something newer to the tire industry. It does enable people to customize data that goes into the chip, stays with the tire. It can be rewritten and read again. It's really incredible technology, and it's really important for tracking inventory as well as preventing tire theft.
Now, if I want to do this myself, I just go ahead and go online and then order it, but you've got a couple of other ways I can do this too?
Absolutely, yeah, totally. Online, tirestickers.com is a way to get it. Also, we have distributors worldwide. We're in over 30 countries. We have over 100 distributors. It's open for people to come to us and sell in their shops to their customers. So people can also go in there and get the installation done there. And then more recently, we released the ability to purchase a tire pre-labeled by us us, professionally installed at our shop, and then sent to your door. So you can call us up, say you have a Michelin tire, we can pre-label it, and you'll be getting it at your door, professionally installed, and it's going to be on there for good.
Oh, I love that. I'm telling you, we used to joke about this. We did not think it would ever come about. There's just no way you're going to be able to stick something on a tire and actually have it stay.
Right.
This is just amazing.
This is really the first solution to totally customize your tire and be able to do that with any logo and have it last.
If I'm doing the temporary sticker, how long does that typically last?
Usually it gets up to about 1,000 miles before it will start to discolor, and then it's just time to remove it. So again, if you're looking to advertise, perhaps for a charity race or a parade, you can put something on there, and then you can take it right off when you're done.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But the lifetime of the tire, even with all the cornering, the heat, because I think tires can get up to 100, 200 degrees or something.
Yeah, actually both of the adhesives, the short-term and the permanent, we sell directly to the tire brands, and so they can use that for their racing. And those tires, yeah, they get up to 185 degrees, and they will last, the adhesive is designed to last over 250 degrees Fahrenheit and also -50, so it can take the cold Canada winters, and it's not going to crack and chip and fall off.
And the cold, yeah.
Yep.
You know, I got a real problem with catching curbs and scuffing up my letters and stuff like that. But you got some cleaner that is a lot better than like brake cleaner or...
Absolutely, yeah. So the cleaner, normal soap and water generally will clean up the lettering pretty quickly. But when you get something like a curb scuff or oil or dirt, we have a special cleaner that's available on the site that will clean it right up nice and white even after 50,000 miles.
So I can put on Dave's Tire Shop, or I can get brand names too.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, we have official licensing with many of the tire companies, whether it be a Toyo, a Michelin, a Goodyear. So those are available. And also we're recently launching automotive sort of lifestyle brands like a Mopar, like a Hemi. And so those are now available through us as well as some of the merchandisers.
If you want to find out more, you go to tirestickers.com. Well, I tell you what, that's all the time we got this week on Performance TV, but don't worry, we'll be back next week with more.